And now, welcome them to Texas Stadium, the champions of the Eastern Division, the Dallas Cowboys.
A capacity crowd of 65,000 reacting to the introduction of the Cowboys on a humid 60-degree afternoon in Dallas as the first round of the NFL playoffs concludes with what could be the best game of them all, matching the NFC Eastern Division champion Cowboys and the Western Division winners, the LA Rams. Frank Lever, along with Pat Summerall and Pat Starr. Dallas riding an unprecedented string of 8 straight playoff appearances coming in today, and Pat, that's got to be a tribute to, among other people, head coach Tom Landry.
I think it's a great tribute to this man. His record is 10-4, as you see. As always seems to happen, the Dallas Cowboys come into the playoffs with a lot of momentum. That condition always seems to exist when playoff time comes around. The opponents today are the Los Angeles Rams, coached by Chuck Knox. A 12-2 record, the most victories ever put together by a Los Angeles team. They are the #1 ranking team on defense in the NFC and the #1 ranked offensive team. When you get down to individuals in a game, though, it's the quarterbacks that are the keys. And who better qualified to talk about those two individuals than our colleague, Bart Starr.
Thank you very much, Pat. And I'm delighted to talk about them because these are two fine football players. John Hadle, you see on your left, Roger Staubach on the right. John has had a great year throwing to a wide receiver by the name of Harold Jackson, a real flea who is very, very tough to cover. You see one here in their first game meeting during the year. They completed these for 4 touchdown passes that day. Beautiful shot. They've had a great year. Roger Staubach, on the other hand, has done a super job for the Cowboys, and one of the things that makes him extremely tough is his play action and his rolling out ability. You see it right here. He's just made a great fake to Calvin Hill. This is against the Washington Redskins earlier in the season, and now he starts to look for his receivers, and should they be covered, he has this great ability to run. He is not a scrambler, he's a runner. I'm looking forward to a great game.
It's a classic matchup at Texas Stadium, and we'll be ready for the start of today's game in just a moment. 65,000 American flags, miniature flags being waved. They were distributed prior to the game by the Honor America National Flag Committee, headed by Pollard Simons of Dallas. The Honor America Committee, a private national group which is promoting widespread participation in the celebration of the American Bicentennial in 1976. And we're ready to play football. Los Angeles has won the toss of the coin, elected to receive. We've mentioned before the Cowboys have been in the playoffs for 8 straight years. For the Rams, first time since 1969. And Bart Starr, you've been there. How much is that playoff experience worth?
Well, it's worth a great deal, but I can tell you one thing. I've been impressed all year with the poise and the confidence as displayed by this Ram team, and I think they're ready to play a great game.
Al Clark on the left of your screen, Scribner on the right, as Tony Fritsch prepares to kick off for the Dallas Cowboys, and the sun breaks through the overcast here at Texas Stadium for the first time. We had several heavy showers this morning, but the field was covered. NFC playoff time for Texas Stadium. Clark at the goal line. 10, 20, and he is racked by number 84, Gene Fugit, along with Rodrigo Barnes, number 56. And the Rams will put it in play at the 20-yard line.
You know, Frank, Tom Landry has made the statement that one of the reasons for the improvement of the Cowboys in the last few weeks has been the improved play of their special teams. The Rams have excelled in their special teams all year long, so that'll be an aspect of this game that'll be interesting to watch.
John Hadle, Rams quarterback. And McCutcheon the setbacks. McCutcheon on the wing off to the right side as the Rams go from the double wing on the first play from scrimmage. Intercepted by Leroy Jordan. And the Cowboys trip over at the 26.
Well, it's something in Jordan and Coach Gene Stallings have been working on all season long. Staying out after practice, working simply on just catching the football. Leroy's got the good hand.
He sure has, and I'll tell you, he's had a sensational year, Pat.
He has.
He leads NFL linebackers in interceptions. He had 6 on the year. Just one off the NFC lead. And Jordan bidding for all-pro honors for the first time in his 10-year career. Roger Staubach at the throttle for the Cowboys at the Ram 26, trying to capitalize on the turnover. Calvin Hill, 25, 20, 15. Hill is out of bounds at the 10. Some kind of hole on the left side, opened by the Cowboy line for Calvin Hill, the NFC's number 2 rusher.
He lost by only 2 yards to John Brockington. That play, I think, Frank, was designed to go inside. But the Dallas offensive line just collapsed the Ram defense to the inside, and Hill took it around the corner.
A pickup of 15 yards. The nose of the ball is just outside the Ram 10-yard line. Garrison and Hill are the setbacks. Drew Pearson, wide receiver, to the right side. Bob Hayes is flanked to the left. Pearson in motion. Hill going the other way, inside the 10. Hill fighting to the 5 and out of bounds at the 3-yard line. Isaiah Robertson, number 58, came over to make the stop.
Watch this blocking on the right side by Gene Fugit. A crackback block by Drew Pearson. And a good block also by Walt Garrison.
Blaine and I had a great block outside that time, too, to open that up for him.
Dallas could conceivably make a first down without going across. They'd have to move it inside the 1. It is second down, 3. Cowboys with 2 tight ends in there. Fugit and Dupree. Staubach giving to Hill, touchdown. Three straight carries by Calvin Hill.
John Nyland is number 76. The trap block was supposed to be on Merlin Olsen, but he slipped down. Here it is again.
Oh, you talk about a strong start.
I'll say.
Stretch on to try the extra point, and Craig Morton will hold. This game, by the way, is only 30 seconds old. And the Cowboys lead it by a score of 7-0. The touchdown set up on the turnover, the pass interception by Jordan, and it took Dallas 3 plays to get in. Excellent return of 35 yards by Scribner. Rams came out in the first time in a double wing formation, a passing formation, and Hadel for the interception. This time they come out in the normal set with Jackson wide to the right side. Snow is split to the left. McCutcheon. That's Tume. Fumble, loose football. Dallas has it. That's Mel Renfro at the 34. How about that? The Rams have run 2 plays from scrimmage and coughed up the ball twice. I don't know. You want to call it playoff jitters, Mark?
Well, I suppose you would almost have to, but that's the one thing, obviously, they can't afford to do. You see it right here, Mel Renfro coming up with it. The Rams have fought back all year, though, and I'm sure they're going to stay right in there, obviously, but you can't afford to do that against a team like the Cowboys at this stage.
Well, if we ever get a chance, we'll try to set these lineups for you. Maybe the second period before we get around to it. Dallas, 1st and 10 at the Ram 35. Drew Pearson in motion. Staubach handing to Hill. This time the Rams fill the hole nicely. Collapse on a Hill after a gain of 2 to the 33-yard line. Well, let's see. Offensively, Dallas going with John Fitzgerald at center, Blaine Nye and John Nyland the guards, Ralph Neely and Rayfield Wright the tackles, Tom Landry alternating the tight end, sending the plays in from the bench, Billy Joe Dupree and Gene Fugit, the wide receivers, Bob Hayes and Drew Pearson's, and the setbacks, Calvin Hill and Walt Garrison. Roger Staubach, of course, is the quarterback. Second down, 8. Cowboys at the Ram 33. Hill, who's carried the ball on every offensive play for Dallas, to the 28-yard line. Pick up a 5. It'll be 3rd down, 3.
On the left, of course, is Tom Landry, and on the right, the man who's done such an outstanding job in Los Angeles this year, in his first year as the head coach of the Rams, is Chuck Knox, who has to be a little bit concerned right now. By the way, Frank, while we have a second word from the Dallas bench is that Bob Lilly has aggravated a previous leg injury, and he is probably through for the day. His place on defense is taken by Bill Gregory, who's got a lot of playing time in since Lilly has been hurt.
3rd down, 3. Dallas at the Ram 28. Staubach, first pass, gonna run it. Has the first down at the 24-yard line. That's exactly what the Rams have been worried about all week. They've had trouble with scramblers this year.
Here's Roger as he gets back behind good protection. It was not a breakdown by the Dallas blocking line. Jack Reynolds, the middle linebacker, got back in time to stop him, but not before he got first down yardage.
That was so fast, you'd almost think that was by design.
Almost looked like a quarterback draw.
Yep.
Dallas 1st and 10 at the Ram 23-yard line. Cowboys 7, Rams nothing. 12 minutes, 10 seconds left to play in the first period at Texas Stadium. Dallas going with the full house backfield. Now they send Pearson in motion. Garrison hit by Isaiah Robertson as he crossed the line of scrimmage. Got a yard to the 22-yard line. Excellent hit by the Ram right side linebacker. I guess Chuck Knox has to be, well, maybe not odds on, but certainly a strong favorite for Coach of the Year, doesn't he?
Oh, I'd say so, too. That's Ray Prohaska with him. He's not line coach, in communication with the other Ram assistants up in the press box.
2nd down 9. Dallas at the Ram 22. Pearson wide right. Hayes split to the left side. Staubach wants to throw it. Dupree caught at the 20-yard line by Steve Priest, number 20. A gain of just 2 yards of the play. It'll be 3rd down and 6. Rams defense has Jack Youngblood, Merlin Olsen, Larry Brooks, and Fred Dreyer in the trenches. Ken Geddes, Jack Reynolds, and Isaiah Robertson, the linebackers. And Charlie Stukes, Eddie McMillan, Dave Elmendorf, and Steve Priest in the secondary. 3rd down, call it 7 from the 20.
Frank, I think Roger would have liked to have thrown to Drew Pearson or Bob Hayes on that last one, but they were covered extremely well by the Rams secondary.
Hayes breaks to the left side. Pearson, the rookie free agent find from Tulsa University, off to the right at the top of your screen. Roger Staubach flushed out of the pocket. 20, 15. He's got another first down as he moves to this side to 10.
Staubach again. And again, the protection is not that bad. He's pressured a little bit, but it's late. Remember now, he's playing with very, very sore ribs, and it looked like he might have gotten them jarred just a little bit right there.
Officials mark it at the 8-yard line as Staubach comes over to the bench. He may have been shaken up, and Dallas is calling time. Craig Morton strapping on his helmet there. Roger may have gotten a shot in the ribs. You can see him over there, and he looks like he may be hurting.
Frank, I think it's interesting to note that we were talking earlier about Roger not being a scrambler, that he was a runner, and he is. He can really run with a football. He gives a great dimension to your offense because he stays right in there, and he takes a good look at the receivers before letting the ball go, but if they get up on him, he can really take out of there with it.
There's Staubach being worked down by the Cowboy team physicians, Dr. Marvin Knight and Dr. Pat Evans, and Craig Morton has come on to quarterback Dallas. Looked like he was hit around the head, and he may have been shaken up. Maybe it wasn't the ribs. It's 1st and goal to go. Cowboys at the Ram 8-yard line. Morton handing off to Calvin Hill, who falls forward to the 7. Merlin Olsen into the stop for the Rams. There's Roger being worked on by one of the Cowboy trainers out there. Got him massaging his neck, Pat.
I think that must be what happened. Doctors a minute ago were feeling his head.
He took himself out of the ball game. It is 2nd and goal to go. As you see, he's putting his helmet back on and going to loosen up a little bit, so he may be back in there. Morton has not seen that much action this entire season. Hill lunging forward to the 4-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal from that point. Morton has thrown just 32 passes this year, completed 13, and here comes Staubach. Back in the game, Morton goes out.
Isn't it great to have two quarterbacks of that caliber, though?
Well, I'll say. Whew.
3rd down, goal to go, Dallas at the Ram 4. Pearson wide right, Hayes split to the left. 8:40 left to play opening period. Dallas leading 7-0. Staubach for Pearson. Drew Pearson, who 5 weeks ago was a third-string wide receiver behind Otto Snow and Mike Montgomery, and he has been nothing but sensational.
What a great pair of hands he's got. What a throw this is. It's a Staubach gets it just over Stoops' head.
It's a gorgeous throw. Oh, my. Can't defense against that, Pat.
Pearson, a rookie, is from South River, New Jersey. Went to the same high school as Joe Theismann. Rich on to try the extra point. And Dallas, with 8 minutes and 32 seconds left to play in the opening period, has capitalized on 2 Los Angeles Rams turnovers. An interception by Jordan, a fumble recovery by Mel Renfro to jump out in front, 14-0. There's Drew Pearson accepting congratulations on the bench. Tony French will be kicking off for the 3rd time in this game. And it's not yet 7 minutes old. Low spinning kick. Clark at the 2-yard line. Out to the 15. 20. Ben Barnes nailing him from behind at the 30-yard line. The Rams have had the football for 2 offensive plays. They have lost the ball on both plays. Interception and a fumble. Hadel giving to Bertelsen. Bertelsen finding a lot of running room and a first down as he clears the 40-yard line out to the 42. Rams, number 1 rushing team in the NFC, and that's one reason why.
Let's check out the blocking. Offside guard Tom Mack cutting across in front. The rest of it is good blocking by the right offensive side of the line.
So the Rams have their first down of the ball game at the LA 42-yard line. McCutcheon fires through that hole and is stopped at the 50-yard line, but not before he picked up 6 yards. Cliff Harris moving up from the secondary to make the stop. Ram offense is Kenny Iman at center, Joe Chiavelli and Tom Mack the guards, Charlie Cowan and John Williams the tackles. The wide receivers are Harold Jackson and Jack Snow. The tight end is Bob Klein, the running backs Bertelsen and McCutcheon. 2nd down, call it 3. Those are the football just in Los Angeles, end of the field. McCutcheon has the first down and 5 to spare as he moves it to the Cowboy 43-yard line.
McCutcheon on the year had over 1,000 yards, as did the Cowboys' Calvin Hill. That was a club rushing record, 1,097. He broke the record set by Dick Bass. And he gets into the line about as quick as any back can throw football.
Second first down for the Rams in this drive. They're at the Dallas 43. Jackson to the right side, Snow to the left. Movement by Bill Gregory, number 77, the defensive right tackle of the Cowboys.
Bill Gregory lined up across from Tom Mack, and he just misread the count, trying to beat Mack to the punch. That's a 5-yard penalty. The Rams have not lost their poise by any means.
I imagine a lot of talk on the bench, Bart, by Chuck Knox was, let's keep our cool, let's not panic right now, huh?
That's exactly right. And as I mentioned earlier, this is one of the things that has impressed me about the Rams this year. They've been played even up for a while, but they've always stayed right with their opponents.
5 yards for offside sets up 1st and 5 at the Dallas 38. McCutcheon trying to get outside. That's Leroy Jordan. Probably just won himself a couple of more all-pro votes, making that stop at the 41-yard line for a loss of 3. Leroy, of course, has performed in the shadow of the Dick Butkuses and the Tommy Novises in the past, but this has been his year. He's been a great inspirational leader to this Dallas team as well. Has played an outstanding brand of middle linebacker. His interception total has been fantastic. 2nd down. Officials mark it at the 40-yard line. Rams need 7. Bertelsen getting away from Edwards to the 36-yard line. Cornell Green, number 34 over there to make the stop. That'll set up 3rd down, and LA needs 3 for the first down. John Hadel has had amazing success against Dallas. He's faced them just twice in regular season play. 4 touchdown passes earlier this year. Last year, as a member of the San Diego Chargers. He threw 4 touchdown passes against the Cowboys. Third down 3 at the Dallas 37. Hagel to McCutcheon. He'll be short of the first down by about a yard, I believe. Leroy Jordan coming up to make the stop.
Alongside our broadcast booth, the light-headed man is Harold Rosenblum, who, of course, owns the Los Angeles Rams. That's his son, Steve, next to him, and behind Mark Duncan and Jack Teal of the Ram organization. Not too happy at the moment, as you can certainly see. There's their head coach, the man who's done such an outstanding job. That's Chuck Knox.
David Ray, premier field goal kicker in the NFL this year with a 41-yard attempt. Brace to hold. Ray's 130 points, tops in the NFL this year. That's a club record. 20 long, and it is no good. He missed it off to the left. So Dallas will take over at the 20-yard line following the aborted 41-yard field goal attempt by David Ray. There's 4:19 left to play in the opening period. 4 minutes, 19 seconds left to play in the opening period. Dallas 1st and 10 from the Cowboy 20-yard line. This is the Cowboys' first possession where they've started in their own end of the field. 2 Ram turnovers have handed Dallas 14 points in the early going. Starr giving to Hill. 6 yards to the 26-yard line before Isaiah Robertson, number 58, caught up to him.
You talk about your good years. Isaiah Robertson had just about as good a year as a linebacker can have. In fact, that's really been one of the great keys to Los Angeles' success. The play of their 3 linebackers, whom you don't hear too much about. Geddes on the other side, opposite Robertson, and Jack Reynolds in the middle, who's been around 4 years but hasn't played much before this year.
Second down 4. Robertson last year, kind of a sophomore slump, but he's certainly come on strong this year. Become a Pro Bowl performer once again. Garrison jammed up at the line of scrimmage. Merlin Olsen, number 74, in there quickly for the Rams. Along with Jack Youngblood, Larry Brooks. Loss of the play of a yard. It'll be 3rd down 5.
Garrison, playing with a cracked collarbone, has got special padding underneath his normal shoulder pads. But I can remember him playing a whole game against San Francisco, I think a couple of years ago, Frank, with a broken ankle.
He's an amazing human being, an amazing athlete. 3rd down 5. Cowboys at their 25. We have not had a punt in this ball game yet. Starr, he's 2 out of 2. Trying to reach Calvin Hill, and Robertson out there with him, covering him very closely. And Dallas will be forced to give up the football for the first time this afternoon.
Frank, seeing that throw to Calvin Hill that time, I think this is the second year in a row, or at least this year, I know that Calvin was not only the leading rusher, he was the leading pass receiver. So he's a very, very versatile performer.
One of the amazing statistics on a Hill is he gained 1,142 yards this year, and his longest run was 21 yards. It's a lot of rushes. Bateman has averaged 41.6 on the year. Not much of a rush. Pretty good kick. Bertelsen at the 35-yard line. Up to the 40 and out of bounds at the 42. 2 minutes, 39 seconds remaining in the opening period. Rams, pretty good field position for the first down at their 41-yard line. Following the punt by Bateman. Bertelsen diving out to the 44. Is Leroy Jordan over there to make the stop. That punt by Bateman, by the way, was 42 yards. This Dallas defense has certainly come on strong in the last half of the season. They've allowed 64 points in the last 7 games. That's an average of 9 points a game. Only one team, the Dolphins, scored more than 1 touchdown. They scored 14 points. Second down, 7. Rams at their 43. Adel straight back into the pocket. Intended for Bertelsen. D.D. Lewis, number 50, in the area, along with Leroy Jordan. Bertelsen received a great accolade this week, I thought, from head coach Tom Landry. He described him as the best blocking back in professional football.
Well, this is sort of a homecoming for him, too. As you know, he played collegiately, although he's from Wisconsin. He played collegiately for Darrell Royal at Texas, so I'm sure this game means a little extra to him.
When you have a guy who rushes for over 1,000 yards in your backfield, you can bet your life that other back there is doing some great blocking for him, too, as well as that offensive line.
He sure can.
Third down, 7. Rams at their 43. Hadel is 1 out of 3. Or 3 yards. Good protection. Going for McCutcheon. Edwards, number 52 out there. And the Rams will be forced to give it up. Standing ovation for the Cowboy defense as they leave the field.
You know, I got the impression, Bart, early in the year, that John Hadel was throwing the ball about as well as any quarterback I'd ever seen, including you. But for the last 4 or 5 weeks, it seems to me that he has not been as effective as he was early.
No, it's given us that impression, Pat, and I don't know what it is, but he has not been as hot in recent weeks as he was at that stretch. That's right.
Dave Chappell has averaged 40.8 on 51 kicks during the regular season. Golden Richards, short kick. This will be run back. Not far. It would have been run back a lot further were it not for Larry Smith, who made that ankle-high tackle, number 38. Kind of a line drive kick that strikes fear into the hearts of coaches. 1:45 left to play. You know, Hadel in the last 6 weeks, talking about his statistics, has not been over 50% passing in a single game. During that time, he's averaged 45% of his throws. And for most of the first half of the season, he was light years ahead of the other passers. He wound up 3rd in the league. Here's the man who wound up number 1 in the league, Roger Staubach of the Cowboys. Dallas moving from its 27-yard line. And Hill picks up the middle across the 30, out to the 37, and the Rams, let's see, the Rams recover the fumble. Hill broke through for almost 20 yards, and Isaiah Robertson alertly recovering the fumble, and the Rams pick up their first turnover of the day.
Let's show you what was responsible for that play breaking like it did. This block by John Nyland. The center is John Fitzgerald. But the good block by John Nyland on Kent Geddes is what really sprung Calvin Hill. Now let's look at the end of the play and see how the ball came loose. This is the same play again. And at the end, he was hit by Elmendorf, and that's what knocked the ball loose.
Back to live action. Rams now at the Dallas 37. With a golden opportunity, McCutcheon jammed up the middle at the line of scrimmage. Pat Toomey, number 67, there to make the stop, along with Jethro Pugh, number 75. Cowboys, traditionally one of the toughest teams in pro football to run against.
And as we mentioned before, they get tougher and tougher when playoff time comes around. Interesting to see Pat Toomey make that last tackle. I was flying out here yesterday from Atlanta, and I got a note from a gentleman sitting 3 seats back. It said, any favorable comments you can make about Pat Toomey will be appreciated. Signed his father-in-law.
Second down, 9. Rams, Cowboy 36. Halo being pressured by Pugh, running out of the pocket. Pickup of 3 yards in the play before Larry Cole, number 63. And Dave Edwards, number 52, collaborated on this spot. Third down, 5. There's one of the many banners up at Texas Stadium today.
Frank, it's interesting to note that both teams are doing something a little bit different. Dallas's defensive alignment in the line, according to the Rams' offensive formation, has been changed slightly from their normal alignment. And the Rams are employing Harold Jackson as a wing back instead of a split end. And the weak safety of the Dallas defense has shifted way over on that side of the field.
Snow to the right side, Jackson to the left. Third down, 5 from the Dallas 33. 10 seconds left to play in the first period. Bob Klein, number 80, the intended receiver. Leroy Jordan cracked him as the football got there.
Let's watch the drop of Leroy Jordan as Hadel shows pass all the way as well he would be expected to in this situation. Coming over to pick up Bob Klein. And I think Klein saw him coming.
David Ray, who missed a few moments ago from 41 yards. That's Harold Jackson, who's been blank so far this afternoon. Ray with a miss to the left from 41 will try this one from 39. Crease to hold. Cowboys leading 14-0. 4 seconds left to play in the first period. It is no good. Missed it again to the left. And the gun sounds. Now, National Football League. Frank Lieber, along with Pat Summerall, Bart Starr, Dick Stockton from Texas Stadium as we head into the second period. Dallas with the football, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Following David Ray's second misfire of the afternoon. That's Bob Hayes in motion. Staubach giving to Hill up the middle, and he is belted at the line of scrimmage. Good defensive work by Brooks that time of the Rams. Robertson came up quickly. Merlin Olsen, number 74, was there. So I read that interesting TV Guide article on you this week, Mr. Summerall, by Mel Durslag. I didn't realize you were a watermelon farmer in your more prominent days. I'm not sure those were the more prominent days. I know. You always got something to go back to, right?
Financially, I know they weren't.
2nd down, 9. Cowboys at their 21. Staubach trying to set up the screen, gets it out to Garrison. Garrison still on his feet. Turn would look like a loss into a gain of 3 yards to the 24-yard line. Jack Youngblood, number 85, finally nailed it. That was not the most picture-perfect screen, Bart Starr, was it?
Well, no, he wanted to throw it sooner, and he couldn't, and that's why it looked so shabby. But I think the results of what you're after, and the Rams almost let him get away there and make quite a game out of it.
3rd down, Dallas needs 6 for the first down. Calvin Hill already has picked up 54 yards rushing in the ball game on 10 carries. That's an average of about 5.5 yards per carry, which is well over his season average. Staubach is 3 out of 4 for 9 yards. A lot of pressure by the Rams. 25, 30, first down. And one of the Rams was shaken up on that play. Robertson getting up a little slowly. Roger the Dodger doing his number.
He looked more like Roger the Darter then. He can really move. Take a look at the rush of Merlin Olsen being blocked here by Blaine Nye. Merlin's had a great year, too. Jack Youngblood putting the pressure. But Olsen made him step up, and he just decided to take off. And I mean he took off.
1st and 10. Dallas at its 33-yard line. The Cowboys 14, the Rams nothing. Calvin Hill on a short plunge. Staubach to Pearson, touchdown pass. Set up by 2 turnovers. Hill behind Nyland to the 35-yard line for a pickup of 2.
I tell you, the yards are coming a little bit tougher against Los Angeles now. Defense has really held together in spite of those 2 quick touchdowns. Let's watch Merlin Olsen again. He, of course, number 74. As Blaine Nye pulls, he follows him, and Rayfield Wright can't make the cutoff block. And he, along with Larry Brooks, involved in the tackle.
He still moves pretty well for his age,
yes, he does. Look at his size.
2nd down, 7. Dallas moving from its 35-yard line with 12 minutes left to play in the first half. Pearson to the left side, Hayes to the right. Staubach feeling pressure again, running out of the pocket, and this time picking up short yardage to the 39. Jack Youngblood, number 85, making the stop.
Double team blocking this time by Dallas on Olsen. As the optional blocker, Fitzgerald, sees him sliding inside and getting away from Nye, but they did a good job containing him then.
Rams have one of the fiercest pass rushers in the NFL. They've sacked the opposition 45 times coming into this game, and only the Redskins in regular season play at more sacks. I believe they wrapped it up with 50. 3rd down, 4. Cowboys at their 39. Blitz is on, I believe, and Reynolds coming. Fugit at the 30. Fugit at the 25-yard line. The Rams blitzing the middle linebacker, Jack Reynolds, and got burned.
If this pass had been thrown far enough, I don't think it would have been complete.
It certainly would not have.
Let's watch the coverage again by Allendorf here. This is Stoops you're looking at. Covering Drew Pearson. Fugit is number 84 up at the top now. He has to come back for the ball, as you can see. But Elmendorf had him well covered. Fugit's been sensational in the last few weeks.
One of the reasons he had so much room in there, Frank, is they had the blitz on and there was no one in the center of the field. No free safety, nothing.
Fugit caught that same type of pass against St. Louis and took it in for a touchdown. A pass that was underthrown that he came back for at the 5 and dragged a couple of tacklers in. Dallas first down now at the 23-yard line of the L.A. Rams. Staubach is 4 out of 5. Better try it again. Well, that one fell between Billy Joe Dupree and Bob Hayes. He picked the open spot in the zone, all right.
I think it slipped. He was trying to get to Hayes, I believe, but I think the ball slipped out of his hand.
Second down 10 as Fugit comes in with the next play from the bench. Dupree trots off. Hayes left last week's Cowboy regular season finale against St. Louis early with a tightening of a muscle in his thigh. Sat out virtually all of the ball game. Hayes breaks to the right side. Pearson off to the left. Garrison, 20, 15. First down, Dallas at the 12-yard line. Steve Priest, number 20, finally makes the stop. And Chuck Knox is not a happy man.
At the end of this play, if you can see, watch the two Dallas wide receivers do a sandwich job on Charlie Stoops. Right at the right side of the play. You saw him heading. They did a high-low on him as Garrison turned what was almost a broken play into good yardage.
Officials mark it at the Ram 13-yard line. First and 10, Dallas. Staubach on the roll. Nothing this time as he stopped at the 18-yard line. For a loss of 5 by Ken Geddes, number 36, outside linebacker of the Rams. It's the first time, really, that the Rams have been able to contain Staubach behind the line of scrimmage.
You have to give real credit to great coverage that time, because when they fake that ball and come out of there, they usually have somebody open, and the Rams did a super job of covering that time.
That's a play they've had great success with, particularly against Washington 2 weeks ago. And I think it's the key play that did Denver in, and that key victory over the Broncos the week before that.
Second down, 15. Ball is at the 18-yard line of the L.A. Rams. Dallas leading 14-0. Staubach trying to set the screen up again, but he's got problems. And down he goes at the 33. Larry Brooks had completely infiltrated the screen area as he tried to get it out to Garrison to his left, but could find nothing, and a big loss of the play of 15 yards.
He was trying to set up a screen pass, but there was good coverage downfield when I saw him stop and look downfield. Here's Pearson, and this, of course, is Bob Hayes, number 22. He is well covered by Charlie Stoops, and Roger just couldn't find anybody to throw to.
So Dallas has lost 19 yards on the first 2 plays of this series. That will set up third down and 29. Cowboys need to reach the 3-yard line to pick up a first down. Dallas at the Ram 32. Again, pressure on Staubach. Intended for Pearson. It is incomplete. Almost intercepted on the goal line. Pearson went high, couldn't quite get to it. Dave Elmendorf got his hands on the football. He couldn't handle it. So a long field goal situation now for Dallas as Tony Fritsch comes on. And Fritsch has not kicked one longer than 37 yards successfully this year. He is 18 out of 28 in field goal attempts. And this will be from the 39.
He has not been kicking off well today. He has not shown a very strong leg. He was out for a while with a full torn hamstring muscle. And so for this distance for him, it's a challenge.
Morton puts it down. It's long enough. It is good. With 8 minutes and 24 seconds remaining in the second quarter, there's a timeout with the score. Dallas 17, Los Angeles nothing. Clark is deep, so is Scribner for the Rams. Got the whistle from the referee, Fred Silva. Scribner a yard deep. 10, 15. Stopped at the 22-yard line. Strayhor, number 40, was over there. You can see the sun has come out here at Texas Stadium, and with all its accoutrements and all, Texas Stadium is really not the best place to watch a football game on television from if the sun is shining because of the weird patterns that it creates on the field. Rams have been close enough for 2 field goal attempts, but Ray has missed them both from 41 and 39 yards. They start this drive at the 22-yard line. Long count play as McCutcheon takes the handoff from Hadel. D.D. Lewis, number 50, tripping him up at the 25-yard line. Pick up a 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd down 7. You know, McCutcheon found out, about 4 weeks ago that he was a rookie. He thought he had been a second-year man all this time.
And he's certainly got to get a lot of consideration for Rookie of the Year. He did play in, I believe, 3 games last year, but not at a running back position. He played just on special teams.
You have to be active for at least 5 in order to become a veteran, so to speak. 2nd down 7. Hadel for Jackson. Still on his feet. Look at him fly. Jackson to the 35-yard line. Boy, he is like a time bomb waiting to go off.
And I don't know how much better the Cowboys can adjust their defense to stop this guy, because he threw right into the teeth of the double coverage right there. Cliff Harris came over to hit after he got away from Waters. He gets away from Waters again. Here comes Jordan. He ducks back inside of him, and finally, Calvin Hill. What am I saying? Cornell Green. He is really versatile, isn't he?
The ball is at the Dallas 35. The Rams on the first down. Burleson behind McCutcheon to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Yard pickup on that pass play a moment ago to Harold Jackson. That's Jackson's first catch of the day. 6 minutes, 25 seconds left to play in the first half. Dallas leading 17-0.
Let's watch this pursuit again by Leroy Jordan as he gets through the line and gets away from the block of center Kenny Iman and comes over to make the tackle.
2nd down. Call it a long 5 for the Rams at the 30-yard line of Dallas. To the 27-yard line. This will be the Rams' deepest penetration of the ball game. Bart, have you noticed any specific adjustment the Cowboys have made defensively to accommodate Mr. Jackson?
Well, yes. We were pointing out a while ago, and John threw the ball into the teeth of the coverage that they had adjusted for. And as our viewers saw, the first person who took a shot at him was a weak side safety who was all the way over there. It was a beautifully thrown ball in between those two guys, but they've really rolled toward him when he's been on the flanker side.
3rd down 3. Rams at the Dallas 27 as Hadel calls the line down. McCutcheon short of the first down. A pickup of a yard on the play before Gregory, 77, and Toomey, number 67, make the stop. And again, the field goal unit comes crowding on for Los Angeles.
It would seem that the way the Cowboys have adjusted their defense with that double coverage on Jackson, that there has to be single coverage both on Klein and on Snow on the other side. And that's the direction that it would appear that Hadel should be working pretty soon, although he had success with Jackson last time.
We'll talk more about that later. Perhaps why.
33-yard field goal attempt by Ray. He's missed from 39 and 41. Reese puts it down. It is long enough. It is good. And the Rams get on the scoreboard with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to play in the first half at Texas Stadium. It's the Cowboys 17 and the Rams 3. David Ray Montgomery will be kicking off for the first time this afternoon. The deep men for the Cowboys, Cliff Harris in the center. On your left, Mike Montgomery. On your right, Charlie Waters. Harris hits the goalpost. Dead ball, so they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. Next Sunday, the NFC Championship game on CBS. The winner of this game goes against the Minnesota Vikings.
And, of course, the winner of the championship game moves on to the Super Bowl, which is also on CBS. That is Sunday, January the 13th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time from Rice Stadium in Houston.
A championship game next Sunday will be played either in Dallas or Los Angeles, depending, of course, on who wins today. One of these teams will play the host club. 1st and 10. Cowboys at their 20-yard line. Staubach has rushed now for 29 yards and 4 carries. In addition to hitting 4 out of 7 from 36. Hill. Across the 20, 25, 30. First down at the 33-yard line. And Hill, a little unhappy, he didn't break that one.
He was about 2 feet away from breaking it all the way. Elmendorf is the last man who has a shot. The block here is by Nyland. That was on Geddes, and that's what broke it.
Pat, that's the same play we've seen 2 other times, and the first time they ran it today, they ran it outside, and we spoke then that it looked like the play was designed to go inside. That's where he took it that time.
Pickup of 12. 1st and 10, Dallas at its 32-yard line. 3:45 left to play in the first half and counting. Staubach. The Gene Fugit, it is intercepted by Elmendorf. Gene Fugit got his hands on it, and Elmendorf grabbed it before it hit the artificial turf at the 48-yard line, and the Rams take over.
Again, Staubach's protection this time is very good. Fugit had to jump and come back just a little bit. The ball was hit pretty hard. Elmendorf got the rebound.
So the Rams now trying to take advantage of the turnover at the Dallas 48-yard line. Jackson to the left side, Snow to the right, up at the top of your screen. Adel wants to throw it. Completes it to Jack Snow at the 35, and Snow is out of bounds at the 33. Charlie Waters, number 41, back there on coverage. Cornell Green came over, make the stop.
This is what we were talking about before, although this is a run fake. But the single coverage is on this side on Snow and Klein.
Jackson being on the weak side this time.
Right.
Exactly. Beautifully thrown ball that time, too.
Dallas had the blitz that time with Leroy Jordan coming from the middle linebacker position. 1st and 10, Rams at the Cowboy 33. Trying to get back in this ball game before halftime. Bertelsen to the 27-yard line. 77 is Bill Gregory. 63, Larry Cole. Just over 3 minutes left to play in the first half. Rams' only 2 losses this year came on the road at Minnesota and at Atlanta. They opened with 6 wins and closed with 6 wins. 2nd down, 5. From the Dallas 27. McCutcheon close for the first down at the 23-yard line. Some good blocking up front. Pugh, number 75, and on the stop, it is a first down for the Los Angeles Rams at the Dallas 23. Well, a touchdown could turn this thing around very nicely for Los Angeles before halftime.
It sure could. Change the whole complexion of things.
1st and 10 from the Dallas 23. Bertelsen to the 15-yard line. A penalty marker is down, and I believe that's the first flag we've had in the ballgame. And that will be a clip against the Rams, which will cost them 15.
I think we had one other penalty for an offside early in the game, but that's the only major penalty so far.
First one against the Rams. Cowboys had that offside penalty earlier, as Pat mentioned. The ball has moved back to the 35-yard line.
That's tough to get back to, Frank.
One more play here, and the clock will run down to the 2-minute warning.
Cowboys make a defensive change now to put in some extra protection for themselves on pass defense. An extra linebacker and an extra defensive back.
The penalty was on Cowan. It is first down, 23. Bertelsen to the 31 for a pickup of 4. Gregory, number 77. Rodrigo Barnes, number 56 on the stop. And there's a whistle, and the 2-minute warning will go to Angeles. Cowboy 31-yard line. The Rams have all 3 of their timeouts left. The Cowboys have 2. Hadel sending Snow wide to the right side. Jackson breaks off to the left. Mel Renfro covering him. Snow is on Charlie Waters. Hadel intended for McCutcheon. It was Pat Toomey, number 67, who slid through there enough to obscure Hadel's vision and got perhaps a little piece of that football. McCutcheon actually saw very little action against Dallas in the first game at midseason. He pulled a hamstring and missed the next 2 ball games. I guess he's the only player to gain 1,000 yards this year and miss a couple of games.
And that situation also is one of the key reasons that the Rams are where they are. Very, very few injuries. The timeout situation, Dallas has 2 left. The Rams have all 3.
Third down, 19. Rams at the Dallas 31. Bertelsen looking for some place to go, and he's got nothing. Rodrigo Barnes, number 56. Jordan, number 55. And D.D. Lewis, number 50. And again, David Ray. And the Rams special unit ahead on the field. Ray is now 1 out of 3, having missed from 39 and 41 and hit from 33 yards ago. This attempt will be from the 38. A minute 26 left in the first half. Make it the 37. That's where Priest will put it down. He's got it. Ray drills it home from 37 yards out. And the Cowboys' lead has been cut to 17-6 with 1:07 left to play in the first half.
Frank, numerically that helps a great deal, but I can tell you that psychologically it means even more.
I want to remind you that on Sunday, January 20th, the CBS Sports Spectacular returns with a diversified schedule of outstanding events. First 2 weeks going to be something rather interesting, Pat.
They'll feature 25 of the greatest heavyweight championship fights in history. So here's a chance to have all of your relatives and sons see some of those great fights that perhaps you have talked about over the years.
That's on CBS, where you see the best in sports on the #1 network. David Ray getting ready to crank it up for the Rams as John Hadel has a word with Chuck Knox. Hadel, by the way, is 3 out of 8 for 58 yards, including that 40-yarder to Jackson. Nice kick. Cliff Harris backing up into the end zone. Gonna down it. Now, would you theorize, Bart, that Dallas will run out the clock here?
I would think so. A minute and 7 seconds left. The Rams have all 3 of their timeouts left, as we mentioned. They might be inclined to take some of them even on defense and force the Cowboys into a punting situation, at least hope to get some more points before halftime. Dallas has 2. What do you think, Bart?
I think the amount they make on this first down right here will determine a great deal what they do. You bet.
Bob Hayes breaks wide to the left side. Drew Pearson split to the right. Garrison and Hill the setbacks. Garrison stopped for a yard loss at the line of scrimmage by Jack Youngblood, number 85. Clock continues to roll here with 50 seconds left to play in the half. Ken Iman. You're going to be seeing more of him at halftime, Pat.
It's going to explain the snap for punts and field goals, which is fast becoming, I think, a lost art. And it is a real, true art. It also explains and demonstrates the various blocks the center's got to make. It's under-publicized position, very difficult to play.
That's the NFL playbook feature at halftime as Calvin Hill is stopped with a yard pickup to the 20-yard line. He got the yard back that Garrison lost in the previous play. Iman, of course, is a 13-year veteran in the National Football League, one of the fine centers in pro football, one of 3 members of that interior offensive line, and the Rams with 13 years experience.
Frank, I had the pleasure of playing with Kenny for a few years before he was traded to the Rams, and he's one of the nicest guys in this league, too. Super young man.
Rams call this timeout to stop the clock with 18 seconds left to play in the half. Possibly enough time for a punt return. LA has 2 timeouts left. The 21 is John Hadel, ready to go back in if necessary before the half. 3rd down 10. Cowboys at their 20-yard line. Hill to the 26-yard line, a pickup of 6. It'll be 4th and 4, and again the Rams call timeout. This time with 11 seconds to go, forcing the Cowboys to punt the football.
We were mentioning a minute ago that on a halftime feature playbook, Kenny Iman's going to be talking about the problems that a center has, things he has to do. The Cowboys' number 51 is Dave Manders, and that's primarily the reason he was brought back off the retired list, was to snap the ball on kicks and on punts and field goals, because they had a great deal of difficulty. You might remember a game we had here on CBS against the Dolphins, where they just found themselves almost completely incapable of snapping the ball back to punter Marv Bateman, number 81, standing there. He had to put some springs in his shoes after that night.
Bateman has punted just once this afternoon for 42 yards. Rams have 10 men up at the line of scrimmage, and they're coming. Rather poor low kick. Bounces at the 40 and out of bounds at the Ram 37, which rolls the clock down to 5 seconds left to play. Chances are we'll be looking at a prevent defense. Give you anything up to 50 yards here.
What is that, a one-man rush?
I don't know. Be interesting to see what Tom Landry has in mind.
He's got a lot in mind.
Jackson to the left side, Snow to the right. Cowboys have that 5th defensive back and extra linebacker in there. Bertelsen stacked up at the 35. That'll end the half. That's the end of the first half with the score, the Cowboys 17 and the Rams 6.
To throw, but it really isn't, is it?
It certainly is not. It takes a lot of timing.
Bertelsen and Elmendorf deep. Bateman, good punt. This one will backpedal. Bertelsen to the 20. 25. 30. 35. Bertelsen cutting back to midfield to the 40. And a great return to the 48-yard line of the Rams. One of the premier punt returners in the NFL, Jim Bertelsen.
Billy Joe Dupree, number 89, got caught inside by that move by Bertelsen. Now Dupree comes back for another crack. But this is, as you pointed out, Frank, just a fine return by one of the best at this. Jim Bertelsen, in addition to being a fine blocker and a good running back.
Bertelsen was number 3 in the league in punt returns. Rams have a first down as they mark it at the LA 49. Excellent field position in their first possession of the second half. McCutcheon broke one tackle at the line of scrimmage. Couldn't get by Jordan and Lewis, who stopped him at the Cowboys 48 after a pickup of 3. It'll be second down 7.
Frank, I think over the years that Leroy Jordan probably has impressed more people with his sure tackling ability than anyone I've ever known. He is some kind of tackler, isn't he, Pat?
He really fills the hole with a great deal of strength, and he isn't that big.
Adel sending Jackson wide to the left side. Snow off to the right. Adel 3 out of 8 in the first half for 58 yards. 1 interception. That's Larry Smith, and Jethro Pugh is all over him. Jethro Pugh came out of the line like he was shot from a gun. And Smith never had a chance to get rolling, and he stripped for a loss of 7 back at the Ram 45.
The onside guard pulled from in front of Jethro, and the center just simply couldn't get over in time to make the cutoff block.
And that's what we were talking about earlier when we told our viewers that the Cowboys were playing a little different alignment in their staggered position. And that time, when that guard pulled, Jethro was up on the line. They had no way of blocking him.
That sets up 3rd down, 13. Again, Dallas goes to its form of prevent defense, inserting linebacker Rodrigo Barnes and defensive back Ben Barnes. Rams at their 45 need to reach the Dallas 41 for the first down. We had a whistle before the ball was snapped. Illegal procedure, too much time against the Rams. I don't think Dallas apparently doesn't have much choice in this penalty, despite the fact it was 3rd down.
Not if the whistle was blown before the ball was snapped. They don't have any choice.
Obviously, had they had a choice, they would have said forget about the penalty, because the yardage gain in the pass play wasn't nearly enough for the first down. It's now 3rd down, 18 for the Rams back at their 41 as the coaches look on. Snow to the left side. He's on Mel Renfro. Jackson to the right. He's on Charlie Waters, who's been burned bad in the pass. Bertelsen got 1 yard to the 42-yard line. Again, Leroy Jordan, number 55, in the middle of the pileup along with Barnes and Green.
Frank, it's interesting to note that throughout the first half and the start of the second half here in long yardage situations, that the Rams have tried to run against that prevent defense, because most people have a great deal of success doing that. The Cowboys are playing it beautifully against the run today.
4th down, 17, and Chappell back to punt. Golden Richardson single safety. Chappell punted once in the first half for 31 yards. That was Rodrigo Barnes, number 56, who made the move prior to the snap. Offside Dallas will move the ball up to the 46-yard line. Instead of 4th and 17, it'll be 4th and 12.
That's a name I'm sure you're going to hear a lot about, too. Number 56, the fellow who was just offsides. Perhaps you won't hear about it in that situation too many times, but Cowboys think Rodrigo Barnes is going to be a great linebacker. He is the heir apparent whenever Leroy Jordan slows down a bit and tries to retire.
Cowboys,
it's going to be there soon.
Cowboys with a 10-man rush on Chappell, and Green almost got to it. Chappell puts this one in orbit, on the fly, into the end zone for the automatic touchback. So they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line, and the Cowboys will take over at that point with 10 minutes and 2 seconds left to play in the third period. Each team has had the football once in the second half. That's the story right now in the third period, which has 10 minutes and 2 seconds remaining as the Dallas Cowboys take over after a fine punt of 59 yards by Dave Chappell. Cowboys 1st and 10 at their 20. Staubach sending Pearson wide to the right side. Bob Hayes split a couple of yards off to the left, up at the top of your screen. Pearson starting in motion. Hill running with reckless abandon into the middle of that Ram line, picking up 3 yards. Behind John Nyland, Jack Youngblood making the stop with an assist from Fred Dreyer.
Seems to me that so far in the 2 series that the Cowboys have had the ball, they've tried to run a couple of plays against the grain because of the pursuit of the Ram defense and just as a change of pace because they run outside with the grain to a great degree in the first half.
Officials mark it at the 24, 2nd down, 6, Garrison. The first down at the 34-yard line. Isaiah Robertson making the stop along with Steve Freese. Cowboys doing a good job running on this Ram defense, number 1 in the league. Overall, Rams last year were 11th in defense in the National Football Conference. They have jumped that to the number 1 spot in the space of 1 year. Great tribute to the players and to the coaching staff. Dallas first and 10 at its 34. Leading 17-6. Pearson in motion. Fake to Hill. Staubach under pressure from Merlin Olsen. Number 74 from Brooks, number 90. And tripped up for a loss of 5 back at the 29.
He was trying to set up a quick screen out on the sideline to the man who was in motion, Pearson. But Ken Geddes had read the play just exactly right and was out right in the middle of the screen that was trying to be set up. And although it's a loss for Dallas, it was a very intelligent play by Staubach. Let's watch Ken Geddes and his action on that last play as he reads screen right almost from the beginning. See him coming out? He's not even looking at Staubach. He's just getting out in the action and right in the middle of those blockers. That's a good play.
Second down, 14. Cowboys at their 29. Pearson to the left side, Hayes to the right. Staubach. Calvin Hill was open at the 35-yard line, but Staubach overshot him in front of the Rams bench.
You can see how they feel about him. Here was a crucial situation. They were to go to him. He's been a real fine performer for them the last few years.
You look at that Rams secondary, and it looks like you ought to be able to throw against them. Because really, there's only one proven defender in the 4 deep backs, and that's Elmendorf. The other guys have been put together this year. McMillan's a rookie. Priest had bounced around a little bit. He was picked up as a free agent. And Stooks was released by Minnesota and picked up. So it looks like a makeshift secondary, but it's tough.
Staubach's hit 5 out of 10. Third down, 14 at the 29. Big rush by Dreyer. Staubach unloading and overthrowing either Hayes or Hill. The ball was thrown between them at the feet of Chuck Knox. Dallas will have to punt.
Frank, he just threw that last ball away because it was great coverage. Pat, you were talking about the play of the secondary. I think it helps when you got 7 in front of you playing like they've been doing this year. Those fellas have really done a job. You talked about the linebackers earlier also, and they have complemented the front 4 beautifully, which makes the play of those deep 4 much, much easier.
Again, Bateman dropping back to punt. 3 punts, 43.6 average. Not much of a rush and a beautiful kick. A beauty. Elmendorf at the 15-yard line is pinned at that point by Mark Washington, number 46. So the Rams will put it in play at their 15-yard line with 7 minutes, 59 seconds left in the third period. Tom Landry, the 9th winningest coach in the history of the National Football League, talking to Bullet Bob Hayes on the sidelines as the Rams put it back in play following a 56-yard punt by Marv Bateman. Ball is at the 16-yard line of L.A. Rams need to get something going here. They trail 17-6 midway in the third period. Hadel's going long for Jack Snow, and Snow has it. He is down at the 35-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. Snow that time looking like he beat double coverage of Waters and Harris.
Harris just got back because the ball's in the air so long. Hadel looked at Jackson and then pulled back and cranked it across the field to Jack Snow.
That's exactly what he did, Pat, because he starting to play this way. Harris tended to come toward Jackson's side.
Waters is coming out of the ball game. He apparently was shaken up on the play for Dallas. That thing hung in the air forever. He didn't think it'd ever come down. First down, Rams at the Cowboy 34 as Hadel comes up with his second bomb of the day. First one setting up the field goal, a 40-yarder to Jackson. Here's Hadel going upstairs again. Going long for Snow. Look, Harris. And a shot at interception at the goal line and couldn't hold it. Harris back there along with Mel Renfro. The Cowboys all-pro quarterback.
Frank, it's pretty obvious what he's done on the last 2 plays. We talked about when Jackson was on the weak side, they favored him over there with a weak safety. When he's on the strong side, they shifted way around with a weak safety, so he puts, I'm stumped here now for name too, Jack Snow on the weak side. That time he tries to hit him in the other way. So it was just a beautiful conceived play by Hadel.
By the way, it's Mark Washington replaced Waters at cornerback. second down 10. Rams at the Cowboy 35. Hadel again going upstairs. A lot of pressure this time. To the 30. Hadel to the 28-yard line. A lot of pressure from the outside, pinching Hadel into the middle, and he saw the opening and picked up 7 yards in the play. There's Charlie Waters being attended to by the Cowboy team physicians.
Charlie Cowan shaking up just a little bit for Los Angeles, too. He's been around a long time.
Looks like Harry Shue, number 79, will replace Cowan. It is third down. The Rams need 4 for the first down. Ball is at the 28-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. Rams need to penetrate the 24 to keep this drive going. Hadel, blitzed by Lewis. Pass intended for Harold Jackson. D.D. Lewis, number 50, blitzing through. And believe it or not, the Rams have not converted a single third down this afternoon. They are now 0 for 8 in that category.
Here's Harold Jackson. The coverage was excellent. This time it's by Mel Renfro, who's laying off just a little bit. Jackson trying to get back to where Hadel can get the ball to him. Might be wondering if they're going to try a field goal, but with this much time, they certainly are, because David Ray is in.
Ray with 2 out of 4 in the first half from 33, 39 yards. This will be a 35-yard attempt. Race to put it down. It's long enough. It is no good. He missed it. Off to the right.
Let's check it out and see if we can figure out what happened. Snap is good. The hole is good. Kept his head down. It just went off to the right.
David Ray has not had a good afternoon so far for Los Angeles. He's hit on only 2 out of 5 field goals. The Rams continue to trail 17-6. That's the score we had at halftime. 6:26 left in the third period. Dallas first and 10 at the 20. Cowboys with Pearson on the wing off to the right side. Hayes is split to the left. Calvin Hill behind play 9. To the 25 and out of bounds at the 27. Staring darts at Isaiah Robertson. He thought it was a late hit, and so did some of the fans in the immediate area. But the officials say no, a pickup of 6, maybe 7 yards on the play. It'll be second down 4.
The information from the Dallas bench on Charlie Waters is that he has a lacerated hand. Being worked on, he might possibly be able to return. Looks like he will be. There he is right there talking to Ernie Stockton.
Capacity crowd of 65,000 imploring the Cowboys to go. Second down 4. Hill, this time Nyland out in front. Not good enough for the first down. He got it out to the 28. That'll leave him 2 shy. Ken Geddes making the stop.
Rams did a good job of breaking down the blocking as John Nyland, number 76, will come out behind Fitzgerald. Off guard pulling. He gets around Youngblood and turns it up against Geddes. But again, Ken Geddes made a good play.
Third down 2. Dallas at its 28-yard line. The Cowboys haven't done that much offensively in the third period. The Rams have held them to 1 first down. Staubach now 5 out of 11 for 63 yards. Hill has the first down at the 32-yard line. Merlin Olsen in there, number 74 for the Rams. It was Geddes. And Robert Newhouse checks into the Cowboy backfield, and Calvin Hill will get a rest.
Calvin's carried the ball 19 times already for 92 yards. So he's had a hard afternoon. He's got to be a little bit tired. He's playing with a bad knee that had to be drained periodically.
Newhouse played the entire game for Garrison last week in St. Louis and rushed for 124 yards. He's the D-back in this formation as they shift out of the eye. Fake to Newhouse. Staubach steps into the pocket for Pearson. That is Jack Reynolds, the linebacker of the Rams, who picks it off at the 48-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. And the Rams defense comes up with another big turnover.
Frank, I'll tell you one thing. That's his final interception you're going to see in a long time, because had that ball been a shade out front or that linebacker not been able to come up on him, we might have seen a score. Watch Reynolds drop back. He's out of your screen right, and now he's going to come back up in there and really makes a great interception.
So unusual to see a middle linebacker with a wide receiver out there in the flat. So the Rams presented with a golden opportunity by their defense, moving from the 48. McCutcheon wants to throw one. Downfield it comes, and over the head of everybody. Harris was out there, so was Charlie Waters, who just came back in the ballgame. Jack Snow was the intended receiver, but he was 20 yards in front of that ball.
Now we know he can throw it a long way. We don't know how accurate he is still.
That'll set up second down and 10 for the Rams at the Dallas 47-yard line. It's beginning to look, Bart, like the Rams have decided perhaps they can't run on the Cowboys here. They're going upstairs.
Well, it's been very tough to. They're going to have to complete some passes.
McCutcheon and Bertelsen the setbacks behind John Hadel. He's 4 out of 11. Pressure on Hadel, who gets it away. Flip Harris. Incomplete. Harris had a cinch interception, and when he was hit by McCutcheon, the ball, as you saw, jarred loose. And again, no Ram receiver was really close to it.
I'll tell you one thing, the Cowboys have improved considerably in their second half is the pass rush. Hadel had great protection in the first half, although his statistics don't indicate that he was particularly effective. But they're putting a lot of pressure on him now.
They really are. They force him to move and change his direction, his position, and he was caught a little bit off balance and we had to let that thing go.
It is third down 10.
But for that fine play by McCutcheon, would have had an interception.
5:09 left to play in the third period. Dallas leading 17-6. Ball at the Cowboy 47. Hadel. Harris bats it away from the intended receiver, Harold Jackson, at the 15-yard line.
Here is Jackson. It looks like he's wide open, but Harris comes a long way. Makes a good play.
Tipping it away with his left hand, and the Rams will have to punt. They get nothing on 3 shots at it from the Dallas 47 following the turnover provided them by Jack Reynolds.
If they have a play from punt formation.
Dallas lining up with 10 men on the line of scrimmage. Have Golden Richards as a single safety on the 10-yard line. End over end kick. Richards at the 12. That's as far as he gets. A wave of blue and gold shirts. Third period. Fine punt by Chappell, putting the Cowboys in the hole back at their 12-yard line. Garrison trying to slip a tackle, got back to the line of scrimmage, and that was about it. Geddes over there quickly, so was Reynolds.
Hadel and Chuck Knox conferring on what might work against this Dallas defense, which has been very, very tough.
And it's interesting to note that on that last play, Geddes went all the way across the field to make that tackle. Great pursuit.
Garrison comes out of the ball game and gets a hand. Cowboys now will go with a backfield of Newhouse and Calvin Hill. Roger Staubach is 5 out of 12 for 63 yards. He has had 2 intercepted. Trapped 3 times. Hill. Out to the 18-yard line. Pretty good run as it looked as if Hill might be stopped at the line of scrimmage.
That's just very fine running. That's Calvin's 20th carry of the afternoon, and he got very little help. This was done almost completely on his own as he cut back against the grain before he's finally cut down by Stoops. 20 times, 98 yards for Calvin Hill.
Third down 4 for the Dallas Cowboys with the ball at the Dallas 18. Cowboys 17, Rams 6. We have not had a score in the second half. Cowboys line up in that full house backfield. Now they put Pearson on the wing off to the right. Hill trying to fight off blockers, and he is tripped up for a loss at the 15-yard line. That's Geddes, number 36, who rifled through there. And now the Cowboys will be forced to punt from in the neighborhood of their goal line.
The Ram defensive club is doing a great job. They get a little bit something cranked up on offense. They're going to make a game of this thing now.
It's been defense dominated on both sides here in the second half.
Sure has been.
Marv Bateman, the man with a lot of pressure on him here. Again, we'll watch to see what kind of rush the Rams come up with. Unlike the Cowboys, they line up with 9 men up front, 2 safety men, Elmendorf and Bertelsen. Bateman standing on the goal line, gets a good snap from Dave Manders, gets it away nicely. Bertelsen at the Ram 40, 45, 50. And into Dallas territory, and the Rams will start this drive, the same place they started the drive a moment ago, when Jack Reynolds made the interception, that being from the Dallas 47. Next Sunday, you won't want to see officials marking at the Dallas 48. Here's McCutcheon, and you got a shot at him. He's still on his feet. He's to the 50-yard line, to the 45. A almost certain loss by McCutcheon of 7 yards turned into a gain of 3 by a brilliant piece of running. Great job of keeping his balance. Tom Landry on the phones there, handed to him by Jim Myers, the Cowboys offensive line coach. He checks with the Cowboy coaches upstairs. Gets a lot of suggestions for play calling. Second down, 7. Rams at the Dallas 45. A minute 40 left to play in the third quarter. Hagel to Larry Smith, and the Rams on the first down at the 37-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys.
I think that's going to be a big asset to him. If he can hit some of these backs, it'll take some of the pressure off their outside receivers, because of the last few that have been thrown. They've done an excellent job of covering. This can hopefully open them up a little bit.
64,291 in attendance at Texas Stadium today for the NFC Divisional Playoff. They're seeing quite a show. First and 10. Rams moving now at the Dallas 37. Larry Smith. Edwards got to him first, then Jordan and Cornell Green. Very short yardage, if anything, picked up on that play. Let's see where they spot it. They put it down at the 37-yard line. We'll call it no gain at 2nd and 10. Maybe the last play of the third period as Harvey Martin, number 79, replaces Larry Cole. Martin, a rookie and a very strong pass rusher. McCutcheon's been held at 29 yards today and 10 carries for an average of 2.9. He's averaged 5.2 on the year. Hagel, quick pop over the middle again, hitting Smith, this time at the 32 for a pickup of 5. It'll be third down 5. And that will be the final play of the third period. That's the end of the third. The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League.
National Football League Commissioner Pete Rozelle in attendance here at Texas Stadium here today in the gray suit, sitting alongside his lovely wife, Carrie.
As we head into the final period, the Rams with a 3rd and 7 at the Dallas 33. Hagel, good protection, sends it over the middle for Klein. Cornell Green, number 34, knocked it down. You know, I don't recall the Rams being inside the Dallas 30-yard line in this ballgame. They've gotten to this area and been forced to settle for field goal attempts.
All of Ray's field goals have been from just about this spot on the field, as you pointed out. 2 out of 5 he is for the afternoon. And that's a long walk out on the field for him right now.
Pat, if our real football viewers can visualize this, Cornell Green has the tight end man for man, and the weak safety and the strong side cornerback, Mel Renfro, have Harold Jackson in and out deep. That's how they're playing that on that strong side.
40-yard field goal attempt again has the distance, and this one is good by David Ray, who is now 3 out of 6 on the afternoon. And the Rams crack the ice here in the second half with this first score of the half to make it. Cowboys 17, Rams 9. Rams hit that field goal 9 seconds deep into the final period as David Ray prepares to kick off. Ray, who has accounted for all of the Rams scoring on 3 out of 6 field goal attempts. Harris in the middle of the kickoff formation. Line drive type of kick. This one will go on into the end zone, and Harris and Montgomery let it roll out for the touchback. And Dallas will take over at the 20-yard line. There's Chuck Knox on the phones, getting a little advice from upstairs from his friends. A little help from my friends, huh?
We need some on offense at the moment. Big yardage against them.
I think the longest runs they've had against them this year have been by 2 quarterbacks who scrambled out for something like 25 and 21 yards.
I think that's correct. They really chased the football, but in spite of that, counter plays run by Dallas, or attempted to be run by Dallas here in the second half, have not had much success.
Third down 2. Cowboys at their 28. Clock moving. Just over 13 minutes left to play in the ball game. Dallas leading 17-9. And Hill getting the call and has the first down. Dallas trying to get that clock rolling now. Eat up some time with a ball control drive. Cowboys with the first down at their 32. Stop off. Blitz by Robertson. Boy, you talk about pressure. Robertson hit him first, and then the wave came in from the left side. Freddie Dreyer was in there, so was Brooks, so was Olsen. Dumped him at the 21-yard line.
That's a very good defensive call by Los Angeles. It was a play fake, as you could see, by Dallas.
Hill to the 25-yard line for a pickup of 4. Cowboys have 3 first downs in the second half. Isaiah Robertson making the stop for Los Angeles.
Calvin Hill now is up to 106 yards on, I believe, 25 carries. So he's had a very, very busy day, and I imagine he'll have a few more before it's over.
Third down, 18. Cowboys at their 25. Hill lost the ball. Where is it? Who's got it? Still no indication. Now let's wait and see. There was an injury on the play. What happened? Looks like a Ram has the ball in his hand, but he obviously was shaken up on the play. He'll fumble that thing and then completely overran it.
Looks like Starbuck might be involved in that pileup somewhere, because he was in the scramble. But somebody from both teams is still down.
Rogers okay. He's over on the sidelines walking off. Yes.
I believe the recovery will go to the Rams at the 17-yard line.
And I think that's Fred Dreyer, the Ram. And looks like Calvin Hill is rolling around still on the side.
As Dreyer is up now, he's heading over to the bench. And I believe that is Hill that's still down.
Let's check the play again. The pitch out, or the hand back from Roger to Calvin Hill, and he just never did find the handle. Here comes Dreyer. What happened?
Hill was assisted from the field with what appears to be some type of shoulder injury. The Rams do get the fumble and have the first down now at the Dallas 17-yard line. They trailed 17-9 with just over 11 minutes left to play in the ball game. So big lead for Los Angeles. This is their deepest penetration of the game, Larry McCutcheon. He has a nose for that goal line, and he's got a first down at the 5. What a cutback.
Amazing run by Lawrence McCutcheon. They overran the play, the Dallas defense did. Looked like he was going to be a stop for at least no gain. But back inside all the pursuit. Great run by McCutcheon.
Word from the Dallas bench is that Calvin Hill has suffered a dislocated elbow. It is first and goal to go for the LA Rams at the Dallas Cowboy 5-yard line. A touchdown and an extra point gets the Rams to within 1. That's Tony Baker. And Baker is down to the goal line. He is over for a touchdown.
Well, that run by McCutcheon and this one by Baker are about as determined as you'll see by anybody. Behind the block of Tom Mack, number 65, coming out. He's hit it about the 2, but he does the rest by himself. There's the goal line, of course, the different colored part of the field, and no question but that he got in.
David Ray to tack on the extra point, and the Rams, who were down early in the second period, 17-0. With this extra point, will move to within 1 of Dallas, and still a lot of time left. It is good by David Ray. 28 seconds. That's our story here with 10 minutes and 28 seconds left to play. An amazing comeback by the Los Angeles Rams, as the Dallas Cowboys apparently have gone flat in the second half. Chuck Knox talking to John Hadel. Tom Landry just doing some pacing as David Ray kicks off. Cliff Harris at the 2-yard line. Across the 20, and he's down at the 21. Good coverage by the Rams. Colin Bryant, among others, out there quickly. All right, 1 point. That's the difference between the Cowboys and the Rams. To the winner, a spot in the NFC Championship game next week and a chance to play host team against the Minnesota Vikings.
Frank, both of these teams are made of championship substance, and the Rams are proving that by the way they hung in there and come back.
Hayes to the left side, Pearson to the right, Staubach. Into the pocket, going for Hayes. He can't hold it at the 34-yard line. Hayes went up, the pass hit him right in the numbers.
I don't really believe he had to jump as much as he did. Staubach on first down had good protection, trying to keep his body in between the ball and the defender, in this case Eddie McMillan. He just couldn't hang on. It was a good pass. Everything worked properly, except the ball wasn't caught.
Staubach is 6 out of 14 for 68 yards. He has not had a good afternoon throwing the football. Again, Hayes to the left side, Pearson to the right. Newhouse has replaced Hill in the Cowboy backfield. Pressure on Roger Staubach, and he is dropped for a loss at the 17-yard line. Loss of 4 on that play. That is the 5th time that Staubach has been trapped this afternoon by the Ram rush.
That defense has really come on.
I'll say.
Billy Joe Dupree with the next play from head coach Tom Landry, replacing Gene Fugate. Still better than 10 minutes left to play in the ball game, so anything could happen. Cowboys 17, Rams 16. Merlin Olsen comes out, extra linebacker in for the Rams. That's Bob Stein. On third down, 14. Rush on Staubach. Got the time. Going for Pearson. He's got it at the 40. Pearson will go all the way for a touchdown. The entire Cowboy team, including Calvin Hill, mobbing Drew Pearson after an 83-yard touchdown reception from Roger Staubach. His second touchdown catch of the day.
Let's look again. This is known as a fly, not much else. Over Eddie McMillan, and Steve Priest came over to try to help out, but overran the play again. This is one of your better prances into the end zone.
It was a great throw, Pat, and a slide overrun by the weak safety.
Texas Stadium still exploding with excitement here as Dallas has scored for the first time in the second half. And up the lead to 23-16. 83 yards. That is the longest Cowboy touchdown pass and reception of the year. Here's Pearson accepting congratulations. A free agent out of Tulsa University. He wasn't even drafted, a high school quarterback. He also, by the way, is the son-in-law of Marcus Haynes of the Harlem Globetrotters. You could spend a whole broadcast talking about tidbits about Drew Pearson. Penalty marker down prior to the snap. Of course, this extra point is vital here because the Cowboys now are up by 7 and need the extra point for that slight cushion they'll get.
Did you say, Frank, that he was named after the columnist?
Yes, his father, I understand, was a great admirer of the columnist and named him after the Drew Pearson.
Oh, well, this could be key penalty here as the Cowboys are guilty of illegal procedure, making this extra point come from 5 more yards out. It'll come from 15 yards instead of the normal 10. And it's missable.
Fritz to try the extra point, and it's a vital one. He's got it. Minutes and 37 seconds left to play in the football game.
That touchdown pass and catch by Pearson is worth another look. Here it is on third down. It is really surprising that the Cowboys were choosing to throw. Staubach stepped up in the pocket. Priest just overran the play, and McMillan fell down. And what a big touchdown it is for Dallas.
And I think it's interesting to note, too, that Staubach's been getting an awful lot of pressure. He had to wait a little bit longer to let that one go, and yet he's hung right in there and then delivered the ball beautifully.
There's the catch again, right between Priest and McMillan.
Rams had a 3-man rush that time. They had Bob Stein, the extra linebacker, in there, so the pressure wasn't as strong as it had been normally. Switch, high kick, and very short. Scribner at the 8-yard line runs it back to the 20 and down at the 24. Just when things were looking very bleak for Dallas, all of a sudden the Cowboys come up with a super play, and that old thing about momentum could be shifting once again.
Yes, it
obviously
could.
With the Rams.
It was going the other way. You could tell it.
And fast.
Yes, it was.
So let's see what the Rams could do in retaliation. Hadel has hit 6 out of 16 for 123 yards. He's had 1 picked off. Set up a Cowboy touchdown. Hadel's going to bomb it for Jackson. Double covered. Charlie Waters, number 41. Harris was back there. And on top of that, Renfro were 7 or 8 yards behind them all, just in case.
Watch Jackson and watch Harris slip down just at the last second here. He might have had an interception if he didn't slip. And then it looked like Jackson might be able to come up with the ball. Good coverage, though.
Excellent coverage.
Second down 10.
Calvin Hill had quite a day before he went out due to that dislocated elbow. He caught 2 passes for 21 yards. Carried the ball 25 times. Officially now for 97 yards. Has scored 1 of the touchdowns.
Cowboy crowd really alive now, pouring the defense to hold the Rams. Bertelsen in the touch in the setbacks, and once again, Hadel plants. That'll be good for a first down to Jack Snow at the 37-yard line. Waters over there quickly.
In contrasting the coverage that the Cowboys have been using, we showed you a minute ago that when Pearson caught his touchdown pass, he was double covered. Jackson has been double covered most of the time. Single coverage now on Jack Snow, number 84. This by Charlie Waters.
So the Rams pick up the first down to keep their drive going at the 37-yard line in their end of the field. 9 minutes, 16 seconds left to play. Los Angeles down by 8. McCutcheon runs into the meat grinder at the 39-yard line after picking up 2. Lewis over there, number 50. Jordan, 55. Waters, 41, and Larry Cole, number 63. Are the Cowboys doing something unusual pass coverage-wise today, Bart, that you haven't seen before?
Only the thing that we pointed out when Jackson was flanked to the strong side and became the flanker rather than the split end. They were just shifting the weak safety way over that strong side of the field, covering the tight end with Cornell Green and then doubling Jackson deep in and out.
Second down, 8. Rams at their 39. Good protection. Being chased by Toomey, gets it away. There are flags down all over the place around midfield. Penalty marker thrown in the defensive backfield. And we have personal foul against the Cowboys.
There was a violent collision between Bertelsen and D.D. Lewis. I don't know if that's where the penalty was called or not. Here is Jackson. Let's see what happens to him. That could be one thing where it could be called. That's going to be an automatic first down as well. I think one thing that Bart Starr was saying a minute ago about the difference when Jackson plays flanker and when he plays split end, from his viewpoint, it means that he's starting from a yard farther off away from the defender than he usually is. And that doesn't seem like a big difference, but it can be.
Rams at the Dallas 46 following the 15-yard penalty. First down. Bertelsen trying to get outside. Cornell Green drives him down at the 47. Loss of 1 on the play. The wily Cowboy veteran of 12 years out of Utah State.
That was the violation we showed you a minute ago. Clotheslining called against Cliff Harris. As he saw Harold Jackson getting into the inside of him, you saw him reach out and grab him or hook him.
At most of the Cowboy defenses are aligned so that Cornell is standing right out there, and as well as you block it, sometimes you're just out of blockers, and he's out there one-on-one. Made a great open field tackle.
Second down, 11. Rams at the Dallas 47. 8:25 left to play. Cowboys up by 8. Screen intended for Bertelsen. And a lot of pressure by Bill Gregory, number 77. Forced Hadel to rush that throw.
That's what John Hadel's got looking at him right now.
The ball is at the Dallas Cowboy 47-yard line. Hadel, 7 out of 19 in the ball game. Under 23 yards. L.A. has not been able to move the ball that well on the ground, so they've been sticking with the air game for most of the second half. McCutcheon couldn't hold it. Running situation for the Rams. Once again, a standing ovation for the Dallas defense.
John Hadel checking how much time left on the clock. It shows 8 minutes, 10 seconds.
Frank, I think these fans have been maligned a little bit in the past for being less than enthusiastic, but you wouldn't know it here today, would you?
You really wouldn't.
Woo. You talk about home field advantage. It's got to be worth something. Here's Dave Chappell.
Interesting, I think that all 3 of the other home teams have won in playoff games.
That's right. Very high kick. Richards, fair catching at the 11-yard line. Good punt by Chappell. Not much for distance there, but he got it where he wanted. Into that steep in Cowboy territory, putting Dallas with their backs to the wall here with 8 minutes and 4 seconds left to play in the game. Of course, we're going to keep a close watch on that clock now with the Cowboys having an 8-point advantage. They'd like to do is get that thing rolling a little bit with a couple of first downs.
Primarily on the ground.
Calvin Hill out with a dislocated elbow. Robert Newhouse, number 44, replacing him. Pearson wide to the right side. Bob Hayes is split to the left. Garrison 32. Newhouse 44. The setbacks. Newhouse. Freddie Dreyer, number 89, who you saw shift just before the ball was snapped, was at the right spot.
I think he was in a huddle.
It looked like it, didn't it?
Cowboys at their 11-yard line. Clock continues to roll now with 7.5 minutes left to play in the game. Dallas in the playoffs for the 8th straight year, trying to reach the NFC Championship game. For what now? The 3rd year in a row. Staubach tripped up at the 9 for a loss of 2 on the play. 85 over there, Jack Youngblood along with Ken Geddes. Number 36, it'll be 3rd down and 13.
Rams have really done an excellent job defending against that option rollout type play that the Cowboys had so much success with earlier. 3rd and 13 facing Roger now as Chuck Knock.
Pat, they sure have done a good job against it, and some people might question that last call, but I think it was excellent because they've got to get it out there, and with him running or passing, it's a very safe call.
Third down, 13. Cowboys at their 9-yard line, leading by 8. Staubach caught at the 5 for a loss of 4 on that play. Brooks, number 90, along with Dreyer, number 89. A great performance by the Rams defense on that series. And Staubach goes down for the 8th time in the ball game.
I think you have to start thinking about what Tom Landry would do in a situation like this. They lead by 8. And if he had a flash through his mind about conceding a safety here now, I think it went away in a hurry because that would cut it down to 6, and all the Rams would have to do would be score a touchdown to take the lead. So they've got to punt it, and punt it from punt formation.
Bateman will be kicking from his end line. He is back as far as he can get. Let him put it out of there. The kick is short. Takes a cowboy hop past the 50-yard line and will roll to the Ram 42. There is a great break for Dallas because that kick was a line drive and Elmendorf couldn't reach it in time before it hopped. Of course, once it hit the ground, it began rolling. Officials mark it at the Ram 41-yard line. Los Angeles 1st and 10 with 6:26 left to play in the game. The Cowboys leading 24-16. Jackson to the right side. Jack Snow to the left. McCutcheon running into green at the 45. And then Jordan. A pickup of 3, perhaps 4 yards on the play. Officials mark it at the 45-yard line. Look at the 46. 2nd down, 6 as McCutcheon gets 4.
One of the things that's characteristic of a championship game is great hitting, and we've had that on both parts today. Just super hitting.
Rams at their 46. Halo. Larry Cole, number 63, and Jethro Buell on the tackle, but the pressure applied by Pat Toomey and by Bill Gregory, forcing him to run up the middle. He got back almost to the original line of scrimmage, reached the 44-yard line. It'll be 3rd down, let's call it 7.
We've been talking about how they've covered Jackson when he's been on the strong side. I don't think we've talked too much about when he's been in his normal position. It's split in. They've covered it a number of ways. One, short and long with a halfback and the weak side safety, or they'll send the weak side linebacker out on him short and the halfback in his normal position.
Rams at their 44. 3rd and 7. Penalty marker down as Pugh hit Hadel. Toomey recovered the fumble. And we got a little altercation going down there between Cornell Green and Tom Mack. Let's see what the ruling is. The Cowboy offensive unit coming on the field. And Dallas will take over as the penalty was against the Rams.
Was a holding penalty call against the Rams. The good rush by Jethro Pugh right there. And Hadel was not trying to throw the ball. As you could see, he was hit at the end by Pat Toomey. He was just trying to get away.
So a big turnover caused by the Cowboy defense. And Dallas has a first down at the Ram 40.
Diversity all. That defense is... And they...
The defense advantage when the offense gets two. Nine. Newhouse picking his way up the middle of the 41-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play. It'll be third down. Clock continues to roll with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game. Dallas leading by 8.
Very tough call here for Tom Landry as he sends Billy Joe Dupree in with the play. The bread and butter play for the last 4 weeks has been that semi-rollout option for Dallas. So let's see if they use it here.
Third down, 7. Cowboys at the Ram 41. Garrison, Newhouse, the setbacks, and Staubach will throw. For Hayes. He's got it, out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Big third down for Dallas. This ball, it looked like it might have slipped a little bit.
It does, Pat, and you know, for a moment there, they might even get Charlie Stoops for face guarding.
Let's check out the pass blocking that made that possible. Blaine Nye on Merlin Olsen. John Nyland and John Fitzgerald blocking Larry Brooks. Good job.
First and 10 from the Ram 12-yard line. Garrison gets a yard to the 11. I'll tell you one big factor in this game. On third down, the Cowboys have converted 9 out of 17. The Rams are 0 of 11.
I'd say that's a big factor.
That hurts. It is second down 9 for Dallas at the Los Angeles 11-yard line. The clock continues to roll with 3 minutes, 15 seconds left to play in the game. Dallas leading by 8. Pearson wide to the right side. Hayes split to the left. Newhouse to about the 6. Grace, number 20, was over there. So was Robertson, who's played quite a football game for Los Angeles. That'll set up third down. And let's call it 4. Cowboys at the 6-yard line of the Rams have to get inside the 2 for the first down.
And all of those Ram linebackers have played a great game. We've seen a middle linebacker, Jack Reynolds, intercept a pass way downfield intended for a wide receiver. And the 2 outside linebackers have been nothing short of superb all day.
They certainly have.
Hayes to the right side, Pearson to the left. Third down, 4. Cowboys at the 7-yard line. Newhouse to the 5. And out comes the field goal unit. Clock will run down to the 2-minute warning, and then we'll have the automatic timeout, I believe. Well, Staubach is motioning for the field goal unit to go off the field. 2 minutes left to play. 2-minute warning going to the benches. Staubach simply wanted to let the clock run down to 2 minutes, which it did, before allowing the field goal unit on the field. And Fritsch now will try a field goal from 12 to 13 yards out. Greg Morton will put it down at the 12-yard line. Good. Well, that means one thing, Bart Starr, it's no longer possible for a touchdown and a field goal.
That was a big 3 points there, you bet.
Rams need 2 touchdowns now to come back in this ball game with 1 minute and 58 seconds to go. You're scanning some of the statistics. Drew Pearson has caught only 2 passes today. But boy, they were perhaps the 2 biggest catches of his life. Both for touchdowns.
Guarantee you they were. You know, I was watching Morton before the ball game, Frank, and he has become the Cowboy holder on field goals and extra points. Danny Reeves used to do it. And he's an excellent holder. I watched him move the ball around when the strings were in a position that the kickers don't like them in, and he was doing just a super job out there. He's become a great holder.
Only a former holder can appreciate that, I imagine. Pretty good boot here. Scribner, 4 yards deep. Runs it out to the 10, 15. Cracked at the 20, breaks a tackle up to the 24-yard line. Goes Rob Scribner. 64 is Jim Anderson, Mike Montgomery, number 23 in the stop. That's kind of a thankless job, isn't it? But really very important, holding the football.
Well, I think one of the reasons I brought it up, too, is that our halftime feature talked about Kenny Iman and the responsibilities of a center. And, yes, it takes a real coordinated effort between the center and the holder to get off a good kick.
Each team has all of their timeouts left. Hadel has hit 7 out of 20 for 123 yards. He has had 1 picked off. It's going to be bombs away for Jackson. He was racked by Cliff Harris as Harris timed his hit just perfectly.
He sure did. Oh, did he nail him. Whoop. Gonna look at it here. There's a short and long coverage on this side, and the ball is thrown beautifully between them. You can see, but it was a little bit high to his inside, and he really nailed him over there.
He was almost conceding in the catch, worried to catch the ball, though. Jackson realized he's going to have to pay the price.
Well, he's a small fella, too, and he gets hit like that. It's got to hurt a little bit.
He comes out of the ball game, does Harold Jackson. 1 minute 47 left to play. Dallas 27. Rams 16. Second down 10 at the 22-yard line. Harvey Martin with a super pass rush on Hadel, who just did get it away. Some of the fans are clamoring for an intentional dump, but the officials say no.
Well, there was going to be a screen, and Bertelson wasn't quite in position to get to it, but they did think he was throwing it away. He just barely got it off.
Rams have 3 wide receivers in there now. Sherman has joined Jackson and Jack Snow. Third down 10. Rams at their 23-yard line. Oh, what a football game this has been. All Dallas in the early going. Great comeback by Los Angeles, but not quite enough. Again, pressure on Hadel and Bill Gregory. Drops him at the 22.
Frank, I think it's interesting to note that the Cowboys are doing something here that a lot of teams don't do in a situation like this. Many times they employ a 3-man rush. The Cowboys have their 4 linemen in there and have just replaced some of the linebackers with a defensive back.
Punting situation for the Rams here, as it looks like L.A. season may be ending here in about 1.5 minutes. For the Cowboys, at birth, I think we said the 3rd straight NFC championship game the Cowboys will have played. Last year, they got as far as the championship game, were beaten by Washington. The 2 previous years, they went all the way to the Super Bowl, winning once and losing once. Chappell running it out of there beautifully. Cowboys have nobody back. Intentionally going to let this one roll, and it is quite a punt. It will roll to the 13-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. Clock stops with 1 minute and 6 seconds left to play in the ball game. And the Cowboys need only to run the remaining timeout to win the divisional championship game and move into what should be quite a battle with the Minnesota Vikings next Sunday afternoon here at Texas Stadium.
You know, you mentioned they didn't have anybody back deep that time. They had backed them off just far enough so that if the Rams were trying a gimmick play there from punt formation, they would be in position to cover it.
All 3 timeouts left on both sides with 1 minute and 6 left to go. Garrison up to the 18-yard line for a pickup of 5. Robertson again in on the stop for the Rams along with Jack Reynolds. Cowboys apparently will have to go into the NFC Championship game without the services of Calvin Hill. I don't know how fast you come back from a dislocated elbow, but I wouldn't think it would be that quick, Bart.
Well, it's got to be very sore for him. Knowing the competitor he is, I'm sure he's going to give it a great shot, though, and he'll probably be ready if he can.
2nd down, 5. Dallas at its 18-yard line. Rams using one of their timeouts now, have 2 left. Pearson wide to the left side. Hayes, flank to the right. Garrison to the 20. That'll bring up 3rd down, 3. Again, the Rams calling time. So they will have just 1 left as Jack Reynolds made the stop. Rams with a 6-game winning streak coming into this one. Cowboys won 6 of their last 7. Their only loss last half of the season was to Miami on Thanksgiving Day. Here's the Dallas bench. Craig Morton and Cyril Pinder, and right in between them actually is Calvin Hill.
Frank, he was the first guy in the end zone.
Wasn't that something?
To greet Drew Pearson a while ago after that catch and run. You bet.
You know, he had to be in great pain, and he raced
running
50
right down
yards.
The sidelines.
He really was. Like he was carrying the football. 3rd down, 3. Newhouse jammed up at the line of scrimmage, trying to bounce off the tackle, but Reynolds just won't let him go. Rams can call timeout one more time. Less than a minute to go, as you can see. 51 seconds remaining on the clock.
Frank, we've seen 2-class teams play here today. Dallas showing the poise from experience that has put them in these playoff games many times. The Rams showing great poise and confidence for a team that has been totally, you might say, rebuilt with a new coaching staff this year, new philosophy, new ideas, new thoughts, new aggressiveness. Done a great job. I think it's a credit to both ball clubs.
You know, the question we asked you at the outset, I'm sure does apply. Experience does make a heck of a lot of difference in these playoffs. Cowboys have had 8 years. Rams haven't been in since '69. I think there's like 6 players left off that team. Bateman getting it away. Bertelsen at the Ram 40 plays off one tackler but can't get away from Benny Barnes, number 31, who makes the stop at the 39-yard line. Rams are out of timeouts. And apparently out of the Super Bowl tournament, the way things stand right now. Dallas with a 17-0 lead as a result of Ram turnovers early. And the Rams fighting back to within 1 point at 17-16. And then Dallas striking with an incredible 83-yard bomb from Roger Staubach to Drew Pearson. For the clincher, Adel. Dragged down at the 23-yard line. Harvey Martin, number 79, and Bill Gregory, number 77, applying the pressure.
And Frank, that was nothing more than great coverage on the secondary. John was looking, wanting to throw. He just didn't have anybody open.
That's 4 traps on Adel. John is 7 out of 22, 123 yards. Staubach will wind up with 8 out of 16 for 179. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
We've talked about the Ram rush today. The Cowboy rush has been extremely good itself.
Particularly in the second half. It really has picked up. 2nd down and 26. Adel has the pass blocked on him. Hugh, number 75, and Martin, number 79 in there. 21 seconds left. Boy, I know, not very often, Bart Starr, but occasionally you've been in a situation where the game's about out of reach and those linemen could just tee off on you, and it's not much fun.
It's not much fun at all, and it's extremely frustrating to a quarterback to have one of them blocked down at the line of scrimmage.
In the years you were in the league, you notice the linemen getting a little bigger from the time you started till the time you ended? You had to put a little more arch on those passes?
Meaner, tougher, faster.
There's Chuck Knox. Still everybody's nomination, I think, for Coach of the Year. 19 years in the coaching business, assistant with the Jets, with the Lions. 3rd down, 26. Rams at their 22. Adel, Martin after him again. Martin clobbers him at the 5-yard line. Harvey Martin is a number 3 draft pick for the Cowboys out of East Texas State, and Adel, as you can see, was shaken up on that one. That'll set up 4th down. And the Rams are back on their 8-yard line. And it has been a long day for John Adel. Hadel, as we mentioned, incredible success against the Cowboys in his 2 previous regular season outings. Thrown a total of 8 touchdown passes, 4 with the Chargers last year, 4 with the Rams this year. This wasn't his day. Chuck Knox, by the way, hasn't had much success against the Cowboys either. He was an assistant coach with the Lions in a playoff game that Dallas won 5-0 several years ago.
Right. Well, they're going and playing right down the wire. Harris is in there at quarterback. Well, he's not going to get this one off, however.
The clock runs out prior to the snap. That's it. And the Dallas Cowboys have won the NFC Divisional playoff games. Tom Landry meets Chuck Knox. The final score, 27-16. An exciting football game here at Texas Stadium has ended with the Dallas Cowboys advancing to the NFC Championship game by beating the Los Angeles Rams 27-16, utilizing 2 quick turnovers in the first half. Here's the way things are set up now. Minnesota will play here at Texas Stadium. Dallas Cowboys, 1 p.m. Eastern Time next Sunday. That's the rundown on next week's NFC Championship game, which, of course, you can see right here on CBS. The Vikings and the Cowboys at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. This telecast was produced by CBS Sports. This is Frank Lieber, along with Bart Starr, Pat Summerall, and Dick Stockton saying so long from Texas Stadium.